game. Very easy. See, this is the Japanese version. The Japanese version calls very easy. Not very easy. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Unequip is where it's at. All right. This is much better. Now, you see with the splits, I only have splits for the end of every boss. That is because all of my splits have to be done manually. I don't have an auto-splitter for console, for obvious reasons. So because they all have to be done manually, it is far easier for me to just do the splits at the bosses. So rather than like every other room. And for MGS1 and Twin Snakes on emulator, I have my splits set up pretty much the same way, which is... here's on the way to the boss, and then here's the boss. So on the way to the boss, boss. On the way to the boss, boss. And that's how I've always done. That's how I've always done my splits. But for this, I only have just the boss fights to make it easier. I could try and create an auto splitter for this. I've done quite a few image-based auto splitters for a few different games. I have one for Clonova 2. I made one for Heidi when she did. Lion King for the Sega Mega Drive. So I could set up an image-based auto-splitter for this. It's probably kind of awkward for this because there's no... The way the standard image auto-splitter works is basically you give the auto-splitter an image of the game, and as soon as your game displays that image, the game splits. The splitter splits. So, you know, you can like loop them. So, for example, for Clonova 2, I have it looped so that every time you see the save option, which happens at the end of every level, it splits. Twin Snakes would be a bit tricky. I think for Twin Snakes, it would have to... the image would... because there's a lot of randomness in the way bosses finish sometimes and things like that. I think the best way of doing Twin Snakes would be to have the split happen on the opening frame after you regain control. Because like you couldn't really do it with a cutscene because we skip the cutscene. Sometimes you don't see the cutscene at all. Sometimes you do. So it'd have to be like if we were going to split for Doc going into Heliport, we would do the split like the moment we saw the Heliport. So now split, that would be the split image. Okay, that's already a massive improvement over my race with House. I completely fluffed that. It is very awkward playing on a GameCube controller when you've been playing on DS4 for so long, because the control setup. I deliberately set up my DS4 to try and emulate MGS2 as much as possible. So for me, you know, square was still shoot and X was roll. Now, of course, with the GameCube, shoot is A. Shoot is the big, massive button in the middle, and so much of what you do changes around that. It's quite weird. Heidi found wine. She's happy. So now here I'm just having to switch weapons. This increases Snake's movement speed. I did actually get spotted by this guard last time. He didn't cause me any problems, but I did wonder.
Is there somebody there?
That was a bit smoother. Right, no vent glitch. Just going to be going straight up the ladder, and we've got some more crawling to do, which means some more mashing of R2, or the R trigger, right trigger, I believe it's called on the GameCube controller. Now, what do you think was going through the designer's mind when they were designing this controller? What do you think was going through their mind when they were like, let's add a Z button, but we won't add one to the left-hand side? What was the reason for that? Why did they think that you just put one button on one side and not on the other? Very weird decision. I mean, the GameCube controller is a weird controller. But, you know, obviously, you know, things like Smash and... let's add a shoulder button that sucks. You know, most Smash players will tell you that you can really only play Smash properly with a GameCube controller. You know, so obviously it works. It works for that. It just doesn't work for a lot of other stuff. But you know, this was for the GameCube. The GameCube was, you know, very. You know, this was really when 3D gaming was really starting to really become mainstream. And I wonder if I can... Oh. Ah. It's a bit trickier on. This is me trying to do the SOCOM roll. That was a much better start.
What are you waiting for? Shoot.
This is already off to a much better start than my race version of this. Yeah, this is much better. Oh. Nice. That was cool. That was a much better guard encounter. The opening was really good. I didn't have to worry about trying to get more ammo or anything like that. So yeah, massive improvement. And I remembered to use the auto splitter. So you're going to have to tell me, folks. You are going to have to be like, Nick, don't forget the splitter. Don't forget the splitter. Don't forget to change the controller port to controller 2. I have two controllers for Mantis. I must use them both. That race was the first time I've done a console run where I remembered to change. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Get my weapons in order there. Because with the emulator, we set the emulator to be we set the emulator up to be controller port 1 and 2 at the same time. Controller port 1 and 4 at the same time. So, you know, on the emulator, we just carry on. We don't worry about swapping controllers at all. Oh, that was bad. 1, 2, 3. Missed. 1, 2, 3. Got him. And good evening, Heidi. Mash through all these mash through all these cutscenes. Mash, mash, mash. Alright. Now we have to call Meryl. Wait, you can't just swap the controller to the other port. You can. I just have two GameCube controllers. So I just swap controllers over. Exactly. I would like to get... These aren't official GameCube controllers. They are kind of knockoffs. I would like to get a better GameCube controller. There is a new GameCube controller coming out soon. An unofficial one, but it looks really, really nice. So that is one... If I continue to do this, then it's one I'm very much interested in looking at. Oh, sugar. That's not... I don't know why I never do that roll on emulator for that exact reason. I shouldn't do it here either. The only issue I have with getting this new GameCube controller is really the only game I'm gonna play is Twin Snakes. I'm really not going to play any other GameCube games. Ah, that was terrible. Alright, so nothing to do here, but oh, I did forget to split. So here, as you see, I've already made a massive mess up. Now there is a backup for this. I can't remember it, unfortunately. So I'm just going to play it safe. I'm just going to take out all of the... There we go. You can just skip speech, you didn't hit. Oh yeah, of course I can. Oh yeah, because now this tank is going to be significant. Well, it probably isn't going to be faster because I messed that up. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. All right, tank. Fight that can very, very quickly go out of hand. So need to make sure I'm aiming well. Good first shot. Oh, took a couple of shots there for the second one. Last shot there was a little awkward. Shit. Ah! Got him, that was nice. So can I recover this? Oh, that was a nice shot to finish there. That was a really good recovery. So yeah, tank obviously still needs a bit of work. Find this more awkward on a GameCube controller. There we go. That was reasonably cleaner. Bing. All right, go and grab the Nikita. As we talked about during the race, in House's run when he was playing MGS1 PC, very easy. He got to skip the Nikita. It is a skip using the elevator reload. It is called the Nikita skip, and it is named after me because I found it. So, yep, he used my own skip against me. Sure, which feels horrible, but you know, it's all good. All right, so Twin Snakes, you do still get to see them. I mean, in every other run of MGS1, you do every other all bosses run of MGS1. You do use the Nikita. Whoops, and I slightly caught it on that door there. I'm going to use the D-pad. I think the D-pad's a bit easier for aiming the Nikita. That's better. The other major gripe I have with the GameCube controller is the D-pad is tiny, and it feels awful to use. Snake's going to take a little bit of damage here. Not too much. He's all right. He's okay, folks. Right. Onwards to the ninja. Woo! Export! Oh, that was not a very good roll. Alright, here we go. Ninja fights. Good start. Ah. This is not too bad. That was actually pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. We're getting the full 30 gigabyte file via G drive overnight, so you can do what you want with it. Thanks, dude. when House puts out, he puts out well. No messing about. No! Oh, the bloody analog stick. Got him. I have completely screwed up my splits there. There we go. Cool. So I messed up. That actually completely destroyed my splits, in fact. But, oh well. My video, have you gameplay synced to your reactions? Nice. Like I said, when House goes for it, he doesn't do things in small doses. He is a dedicated man. Always rely on him. Now, if I remember correctly, I did pick up the chaff grenades, so I don't need to grab any more chaff grenades. I did pick up the chaff grenades. Excellent. Dedication is free. Deliver that guard. Some better lines than last time. And I'm nearly a minute ahead, which is nice. That's of my previous PB though. Should point it out. Oh, nice fast elevator. That's always nice when it happens. All right, back up to B1. We're gonna go and alert Meryl. Ping. All right, and hopefully we can do this Mantis fight correctly. All right. This bit's the easy bit. It's that first shot, which is the difficult one. So I've got to get into position, then swap controllers. Alright, so I'm gonna grab my other controller and get ready to swap it.
You are a very...
I've gotta go and sit behind the sofa and then quickly swap controllers. I think I crouched. Ah. Damn it. Oh, that was such a guess. I just thought, if he's here, I'll punch and we'll see what happens. That was...
Why couldn't I
That would... I'd love to say that that was skill, but it wasn't. That was complete luck. So we get the face skip. Again, really interesting that Twin Snakes and MGS1 both have that exact same face skip. You do it differently. You set them up differently. But the phase skip happens exactly the same place. It's very interesting.
Stop. No.
This is looked like a really good fight, if I do say so myself. Oh, look at that finish! He even gets the fast finish. That was bloody hell. I'd like a Mantis fight like that on on my normal runs sometimes. Yeah, that is that was really nice. Let's hope I don't get got by these wolves. Excellent. All right, I messed up the Merrill skip here during my race with House, so here's an opportunity for me to correct that. And I mess up again. But is she gonna get knocked? She does get knocked out. That's kind of the backup. Oh crikey, you're gonna be spamming a lot of them golds, I would think. Because I shouldn't have to go first person view. I know how to do that. I know how to do that skip. It's that was more because I didn't continue to hold B. When you do that, you need to continue to hold B after you've shot, so that Snake keeps running forwards. And yeah, that is more just, again, getting used to using the GameCube controller. Because on the DS4, because obviously on a GameCube controller we don't have an L button, but on the DS4 I have it set so that B, or punch, is also set to L1. So that you can hold L1 to move whilst aiming. So you don't have that on with the GameCube. I just have to hold B, and you have to keep holding B after you've shot, otherwise Snake will stop and reload. It's very important that you hold that button down, and it just takes getting used to. You know, I've been using the L1 setup for what, a month and a half, something like that. I started learning this just before the boba skip happened, and then immediately stopped playing. I stopped learning this halfway through because of the boba skip, and then had to go back to it, and then went on holiday. It was a really awkward time to be going on holiday. But I desperately needed that holiday. It was a very good holiday. It's probably the longest holiday I've had since I started working for the company that I currently work for. And I did say to my mate afterwards when I got back, if I ever suggest I'm going to go away for that long again, punch me. Because when I got back, it was just such a pain in the arse then catching up with everything again. Unfortunately, me and Heidi are looking at trying to get a couple of weeks for our honeymoon next year, so I will be trying to get even more time off next year. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Did that during my race as well. Suddenly just hit B to... Alright, anyway. The trickiest part about Wolf here is dealing with the GameCube controller. But that wasn't bad.
I got her.
There we go. We'll do the split just after Snake says I got her. Yeah, that wasn't bad actually. I'm quite happy with that. Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. All right, prison skip. I have been failing the prison skip on this because you kind of have to do the prison skip, or it's recommended that you do the prison skip with skip that. It's recommended that you do the prison skip with the directional pad, and the directional pad, I don't know if it's the GameCube controller in general. I'm led to believe that it is, but these GameCube controllers in particular, the D-pad just feels really, really awkward. I really don't like it. So I'm really tempted to just play it safe and do the slow throw. This I kind of started to explain it in during the race, but it's kind of difficult because it was coming up. The whole point of the prison skip here is we want to try and leave the prison without Johnny either running off to the toilet or being knocked out. If you leave whilst Johnny has either run to the toilet or has been knocked out or killed, you can kill him as well. So we'll say incapacitated. So that could be killed or knocked out. If Johnny's incapacitated or he's run off to the toilet, that sets the event flag that Snake has escaped. And it means when we get to the underground passage for the second time, or for the third time, I should say, then Snake will have to he'll go through a cutscene and he'll get a codec call. If we can get out without Johnny going to the toilet or being incapacitated, that event flag doesn't trigger, so we don't have to do that codec call and we don't have the cutscene. And the way we do that is we kind of grab Snake's equipment just as the cutscene for Johnny running off to the toilet starts. And this well, that's the bonk method. The slower throw method is we throw Johnny and then leave the room so that his cutscene running off to the toilet doesn't trigger. And then when we come back in, he's only just coming out of the toilet. We go and grab the equipment before he can get set up, and then leave again before again he gets set up where we get the cutscene. I'm probably going to try and go for the throw method. Because like I said, the D-pad just feels really awkward to use. I actually think the analog stick is far more accurate. The D-pad's just really loose, and it's really easy to just... It's because one thing with the GameCube is the D-pad is all one unit. It's one big button that pivots. Whereas on a DS4, it's 4 individual buttons. And that is much better.
That's better.
It's dog shite. You're absolutely right, Hal says. It's dog shite. Yeah, the GameCube D-pad is awful. But that's why I'm kind of interested in this new one.
What the hell?
So yeah, I'm gonna try for the throw. Right, as long as if Snake's got his equipment on, cool. Snake had his equipment on. That was a good sign. If he was still half naked, then it meant I got it wrong. But that's reset the room, so Johnny's only just leaving the toilet. I can grab my equipment and get out before we trigger anything. So that's the slower roll method, but that worked. That was exactly what was needed. We can tell that it's worked because when I'm in here, there's no gun turrets. So the game still thinks we're trapped inside the prison, and we haven't escaped yet. So yeah, that's going to be a time save. So our next event is the disc swap. Disc swap takes longer than it does on emulator because on emulator it's just pushing, clicking a mouse button. But also you can initiate the disc swap a lot earlier on emulator. You have to wait for the text to appear on here because otherwise the game will go, oh, you've taken the disc out. We need you to put the disc back in. I'm getting better at that. For some reason I find it really awkward. To do that all with the GameCube controller. The angle just feels really weird. The one thing I do like about the GameCube controller is I do like how it has that it has like, I was about to say diamond, that's not the right term. The GameCube controller has grooves around the analog stick, so it's actually really easy to put the analog stick in a straight line. You know, 45 degrees is really easy to do because the controller will just naturally go into the groove that forces it in that direction. It does then mean that if you want a bit more of a custom direction that's not on a 45 degrees angle, then it is a bit trickier. I don't have to worry about the walls this time around because we've got the handkerchief. Stun grenade now. Done it again for some reason. Every time I'm in here, I think that B is B's role. I don't know why. So that's the cutscene that we just... That cutscene skip is there. Make our way over to disc 2. I have to wait for the text. Now. Next disc in. And as soon as it goes to black, that is when I'm gonna change the split. Do the split. Black. There we go. 2 minutes 10 ahead. That's pretty good. If you get that roll in the right direction, you can actually get the door to close behind you. I missed the main event. You did miss the main event. The race was straight. We did the race straight away. This is now me just practicing some more console after the race. I say practice at this rate. This is almost certainly going to be a PB. We will definitely be doing it again. I mean, the part of the intention is we're going to be submitting it to various events. So GDQ is obviously the submissions for GDQ end this Sunday. So we're going to submit it for that. I'm going to be working on some other stuff for GDQ as well. Hopefully, if I get time. That was a nice throw. I really want to submit very easy MGS just in general. But the problem... Oh. Shane Smith. Shane! Oh. Nearly missed my marker for... Is that actually the... Is that the person I think it is? Hey! Oh. Oh, welcome to the stream, my friends. Thank you very much for the follow. For those who don't know, Shane here is I want to say self-proclaimed, but I don't know if there is anything official behind it. So please forgive me if there is something official behind it, and I am speaking out of turn. But I would say a self-proclaimed Metal Gear historian. And she has a massive presence on Twitter, and she's an absolute delight. If you follow her on Twitter, she posts some really dumb shit, some really thoughtful shit. Just loads of good shit. She just posts really good Metal Gear stuff on Twitter. I keep saying shit, but it's not all shit. I mean shit as in good shit. And a bit to the left, and straight down, and skip. There we go. Ah, so good that that skip is so easy to do, incredibly easy. Now, let's not make a mess of the menuing that I did last time. Straight to the SOCOM. Oh, I did not kill him. There we go, killed him. That's fine. We just got to kill one of them. It is sometimes difficult to know who bullshits more, you or Apache. It is kind of like a race between the two of you. Who can be the most memey on Twitter? It is very close between you and Apache. Oh, it's great that you could swing by one of the streams. Thank you so much for the follow. Damn. So we're now going to head up to the Hind D, swap to the chaff grenades. Now area reload. This is one of the things that we discussed on Discord and then made it onto Twitter. The amount of things that MGS1 has to do to keep up with Twin Snakes. And the point behind the race is, it's a fun, silly race, show off the, what the differences between the remake and stuff like that. But one of the reasons I really like the idea of the race, and that shaft grenade throw was a little late. I hope that's not gonna... Oh! Yep, that's gonna cause me some problems. The one of the reasons I really like the idea of this race and want to do it is because for me, I very quickly discovered that Twin Snakes... Right, let's get this out of the way. Twin Snakes is a bad remake of MGS1. There's no getting around it. Twin Snakes is a bad remake. For a casual playthrough, Twin Snakes is terrible. It loses a lot of stuff because of they just plonked the MGS2 engine into the MGS1 map. And the problem is that the MGS1 map and the bosses and all of that stuff was all designed with the limitations of the MGS1 engine. And limitations can be fantastic. Limitations can really make you, think creatively and be very creative to get around those limitations. There's an absolutely wonderful YouTube channel that I follow called Coding Secrets, and it's a developer. He developed a lot for the Sega Mega Drive. He was involved with a lot of the Sonic games. He was involved with Sonic 3 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles and some other games as well. I think he was involved in Bubsy. He was one of the main developers for Bubsy as well. And he talks a lot about a lot of his videos about how did they do this on the Sega Mega Drive? How did they actually do this? And a lot of what he talks about is about limitations, and it's all about they had all of these limitations when they were working on these Mega Drive games, and they had to find ingenious and inventive solutions to get around them. I'm going to stop talking about this for a second because I really need to concentrate on this fight. And, of course, deal with Twin Snake's terrible, terrible stinger. Oh, if that had hit. If that had hit, that would have been so good. This is a decent setup for Phase 2. But if that had hit, that would have been so much better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not going to hit. Screw that fight. Screw the stinger. Oh, lock on! Lock on! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's he going? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was nice. Oh. I hate this fight. This fight is awful. Ask any Twin Snakes runner what the worst fight in the game is, and they will tell you it's the Hind D. There is a significant bounty available to anyone who can find either a skip for this fight or for a way to make this fight completely RNG-free, consistent. I'm going to make this game as next to delete. Alright, but that is the Hind D. Apparently that wasn't as good as the last time I took on the Hind D here. Imagine running twin snakes. Hey, we've got a tournament on for it at the moment. I'm going to grab that ammo because I'm actually not sure what ammo I finished up with. I wasn't really thinking about it. But anyway, to go back to my story. You're tougher than the United States troops. To go back to what I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by the Hind D. God damn it. Another reason to hate that boss. He rudely interrupts you. He talks a lot about how wonderful some of these things are because of the limitations that went into their design in the first place. And that's one of the things that makes MGS1 such an endearing game. The limitations that are in place make it such an enjoyable experience and make it work. And when you just plonk in an engine that had so much more stuff going for it, then, you know, it just completely changes the way the game plays. The best example by far, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me here, is Revolver Ocelot. The Revolver Ocelot fight in Twin Snakes is just shit. There's no for me, there's no ifs and or buts. In MGS1, it is a wonderful game of cat and mouse, running round and round in circles, chasing, and, you know, it's a really interesting and enthralling fight in MGS1 because of the limitations that engine provided. When you just give the game first-person view and it just becomes who can shoot each other across the other side of a room first, it gets a little bit dull. And actually, a really good example of how that fight is better, or how that fight could be done better, is Revolver Ocelot in MGS3. Now, if you consider Revolver Ocelot in MGS3, the fight's pretty much the same as Twin Snakes. Bear with me here. I know this is sounding like I'm going off the deep end, but all it is you're both stood on the opposite side of this canyon, just shooting each other. And that's all it is. But MGS3's boss fight adds in a bunch of... It uses the engine of MGS3 well to create these interesting moments. He hides behind a tree, he hides behind a rock, you can shoot his hat off, you can shoot his gun, you can top... You know, if you're on New Game Plus, you can stop twirling your gun and have a duel with him. You know, it's a really good way of showing how that kind of duel can be fun. So it's not that in Twin Snakes the style of a duel just facing each other is boring and uninteresting. It's the fact that it just doesn't do anything with it. It's dull and it is boring. Oh, the Claymore strat is so dumb. I love it. But yeah, so as I was saying, Twin Snakes as a casual playthrough is terrible. The cutscenes are too bombastic and over the top. It's too silly. I know that sounds weird for a Metal Gear Solid game, but it is too silly. I'm gonna stay shut up again. Oh, I'm not actually. Damn it! I'm not actually stood in the right place. That's awkward. Oh, she's there. Okay, I'm still not stood in the right place. I need to be stood on top of that ammo. Which tree was she behind? That one. I am not having a good time with this fight. Come on. That's better. Oh, come on. There we go. Nice finish. Ooh. The time is still going. I'm not gonna do the split until I've done this roll. Now we'll split. Okay, so my disc 2 so far is lagging a little behind my PB. But that's not too much of a problem. There's plenty of room to make up time. Yeah, so as a casual playthrough, Twin Snakes is bad. I would not recommend playing it. I would certainly not recommend playing it before MGS2. If you want to play through the games in order, and if you want to play through the games and you want to play all of them, and you do want to play Twin Snakes, you probably should still give it a go. It's still a valid game, and it's still fun. The mechanics are great. It's just MGS1 is just objectively better, but I would absolutely recommend you play MGS2 before you play Twin Snakes. Do not play Twin Snakes and then play MGS2. You should be having the gameplay experience of this engine with MGS2 first, because you will have a much, much better time. However, having said all that, for a speedrun, this game is fantastic, and I honestly think for speedrunning, this game is better than MGS1, because everything is so much tighter. The pacing, the one thing that this game really has going for it over MGS1, and I include that in a casual playthrough as well, is pacing. The pacing of this game is so much better than MGS1. You know, they made a lot of quality of life changes to this that really, really help. And that's kind of what me and House are trying to show through this race, is sort of showing, you know, this is, you know, what MGS1 has to do to keep up with the pacing of MGS Twin Snakes. And fix the goddamn stinger for Hind. There are a lot of bad things about Twin Snakes. A lot of bad things. But yeah, for me, the pacing of it is the main thing that really draws me into it. There's never a dull moment. There's never, you know, there's no huge backtrack. You know, you're always engaged, and it's, you know, for me, it's become a much more interesting speedrun. There's more things to do. Any percent for MGS1 is actually really dull. Because I forgot to change the rations. I must have made an error with my live split last time, because it's already suggesting that Rex is slow. The lack of powered backtrack is great for speedrun pacing. At the same time, it hurts the pacing of the story from a casual perspective. Look at this hitbox. His hitbox is a bit janky. I mean, that's more about the stinger than anything else. Does it break? Would I agree? Would I agree that it breaks it from a casual perspective as well? Maybe. The codec calls. I will certainly agree that the codec calls that you get after heating the key and stuff are really odd. It feels very, very odd that those calls happen when they do. You'll see this more in a minute when I actually get to them. If you know of pipes. Of course, that's the other thing. You don't get told about these pipes in the game. You just have to stumble across them. And I'm sure, you know, I know for myself, first time I ever played this, I backtracked and... Oh, that was bad. Okay, that was bad. You know, the times where I want to get a heart shot... Jesus. Which Metal Gear mech is your favourite? Ooh, that's a good question. Don't know. The computer from Metal Gear NES. No, that was a joke. It definitely isn't that. As a kid, I really liked Arsenal gear because I was a fan of Arsenal Football Club. But I don't think I can't really go with that. That's a bit dumb. I probably, to be honest, it's probably Ray. I want to kind of be outside the box, do so, or say something different. I have used Metal Gear mechs as naming conventions for things like phones, computers, stuff like that. So my computer is nicknamed the Shagahod. My old car was nicknamed Kodo after Metal Gear Kodoke from Metal Gear Acid. I can't remember what the Metal Gear from Acid from the Metal Gear from Acid 2 is like. The Shag Her Hot, Nick, what are you saying? Oh, House, you childish boy. I probably would say it's Ray. Ray's design is so sleek. One thing you may come to learn about me, and regular viewers will probably know this already, is I freaking love dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are great. Dinosaurs are amazing. Like, I love the Jurassic Park films, and I ever since I was a kid, I've just really liked dinosaurs. So one of the things that I really like about Metal Gears is how they kind of look and sound like dinosaurs. And I think Ray is the best one at doing that. You know, the sleek design, the fact that it can go underwater, and it just looks it looks cool and it looks sleek. And that's the thing, you know. One of the reasons why Rex looks the way it does, and here we go, we're going straight back to talking about the limitations that you know, designers have to deal with. The reason Rex looks the way it looks, the reason why it's so blocky, is because it was rendered on a PlayStation 1, and they couldn't do anything else with it. They couldn't make it nice and round like the Metal Gear 1 and 2's Metal Gears were. I can't remember their names. TX55? Is that the one from Metal Gear 2? I don't know. Anyway, so, you know, you fight this really big, blocky mess of a mech that looks really intimidating. It looks scary as heck. But then... Oh, I nearly forgot where I was going there. But then... you get MGS2, and like, for me, one of the best experiences. Oh, here's what I mean about these codec calls.
Snake.
I was saying earlier that the pacing in here is you kind of lose it with the codec calls, and that one's the really weird one because you receive a codec call as Snake breaks his leg on the floor. It's yeah, that one's weird. Anyway, but then. You know, after playing MGS1, you then get to play MGS2, and like the graphical upgrade from MGS1 to 2 is astonishing. Put 1 and 2 side by side, and it's absolutely incredible, the difference. MGS2 still holds, considering how old it is. MGS2 is 20 years old, and it's still, even for its PS2 version, the graphics still hold up. It is, you know, incredible. Oh, Metal Gear D is MGS2's. That's right. So to then suddenly see this new mech and all of the moves it can do, you know, it can jump, it can swim, it looks freaking cool. It's curved. You know, it's got curves. You know, if I was a woman, I'd be jealous. I'd be like, how can I get curves like that? 2 is timeless. A lot of people, myself included, do believe that MGS2 is the best game in the series, and it just ticks all the boxes. Whoops, let's actually call Archon. Oh my god. Do I get the car tomorrow? You want? I can get the bus. I can get the bus tomorrow. I'm starting later, so yeah, I can get the bus. Alright, finally on to Rex. And according to my timer, I am 5.5 minutes behind. I'm not sure what happened to my timer on my previous PB, but that is definitely wrong. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fast there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, not too bad for phase 1. Something must have been up because your SOB is 47.
No, it's no good.
Yeah, something has definitely gone wrong here. I must have... Something with Rex must have messed up.
After Zanzibar land, I was
Oh,
taken.
well, we'll fix it afterwards. If this is a PB, then... Well, this is almost certainly going to be a PB. I can then just go back and, like, just erase all of my history. Rex best is 0.
But soon,
Finally.
yeah, do it.
This is such a dumb fight on Twin Snakes. Like part 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Part 2. Liquid can't hit us. You just stand completely still and Liquid can't hit you. It is so very, very strange. Oh. Oh, I reckon I know what's up with the splits. I reckon because this is RTA and not in-game time. I reckon I pulled my RTA down to match my IGT. So that's where it's gone horrendously wrong. All right, I'm gonna concentrate on this. Oh, that was bad.
What's wrong, Snake?
Oh my days. Ugh. There we go. Liquid, go over there. Over there. Thank you. Oh. Over there, please. Oh my... Come on. There we go. I can get it now. Again, it's just trying to deal with the bloody GameCube controller. That's what this is all about. Kick him over there. Go on. Go over there, Liquid. No. Go over there. Nope. Okay. Okay, now I want to just get into final phase.
You're out of time.
A dog tag. Oh, there you go. That's the other thing that Twin Snakes has got going for it over MGS1. Twin Snakes has got dog tags. You know what? I might. I've got my charity stream coming up in November. I might make some sort of incentive that says if we hit the target, if we hit the overall target for the stream, I'm not going to learn it for the stream. If we hit the overall target for the stream, I will learn Twin Snakes dog tags. I might do that as an incentive. I might actually add in some incentive milestones for once. I've never really done milestones. I've done various different things with incentives before, which I'll repeat a couple of them, but I've not really done a milestone one before, so I might try that.
Snake, climb in. Let's go.
One thing I will give MGS1, I think MGS1's escape is better than this. The machine gun for this feels really janky. It's very, very loose. The way you're not force kicking off Rex. It's a weird fight in this one. The two Liquids fights are very, very different across the two games. Very strange. Oh wow! You're much more likely to get shot by the checkpoint guards here. I'd accidentally pushed 4 at some point. I wasn't comparing against my PB, I was comparing against my best segments. That's why the splitter was weird. There you go, fix that. can't get those two transition shots. You're supposed to be able to do it in the same way you can do it in MGS1, but it's just really difficult. Oh, they actually, Shane makes a very good point now. One aspect that I haven't discussed: the twin in there are moments where the Twin Snake soundtrack is pretty good, but for the most part, it's just the soundtrack. That should be Final Time, because I was led to believe that timer stops when it goes white there. Obviously, we're going to sit through. We'll sit through the credits. The in-game time is the time that we use. I don't know if the in-game. I think the in-game timer is still running. It's just with the disparity between real time and in-game time, it's actually closer to there that it's done. This is the most bland soundtrack. There are a couple of tracks that are good. In it, unfortunately one of the best tracks in it, which is recycled from MGS1, is the end credits, The Best Is Yet to Come. Unfortunately, The Best Is Yet to Come is a song that will get videos flagged for copyright on YouTube and Twitch. So I now have to mute the... I'm about to say mute the emulator. I now have to mute the capture. I promise I'm not emulating this. I'm playing this on a Wii. There we go. Wii controller. GameCube controller. So yeah, unfortunately, we now don't get to listen to this music. It's which is a shame because it's a really nice piece of music. But yeah, there are some tracks in the game which are good. I actually really like Mantis's boss fight. Some of the boss fight tracks are really good, but even then, they're just still not as good as MGS1's. You know. MGS1's music, and particularly like the boss fight music, and you know, it's got that real sense of aura, and you know, I don't really know the best way to describe it because I'm not a music critic. But yeah, it just the Twin Snake soundtrack does not hold a candle to MGS1. But as I said, through doing this race with House and showing off at the same time, if we can get it into some events, I think it'll be a really good way of showcasing that, you know what, don't just knock TTS for the things that you've heard of, because there's a very good chance that a lot of people who completely knock this game have only seen the cutscenes and never actually played it. You know, what's the main thing that Twin Snakes has got going for it? It freaking runs on the MGS2 engine. Do you know how good MGS2 is because of the engine? It's like Survive. Twin Snakes is very, very similar to Survive in the one thing that Survive has got going for it is that Survive is ran on the Fox engine. So the basic elements of Survive are fantastic because it's built off Phantom Pain, and it's brilliant. And this is the same because the fundamentals of this are built off one of the best Metal Gear game engines in the entire series. It automatically has a head start. It's just then everything else kind of lets it down. But as a speedrun, this is fantastic. There's never a dull moment. There's always exciting stuff. When racing, there's so many different places where things can change hands. It's something we talked about when we were arranging the Metal Gear Solid 1 All Bosses speedrun race. There was a lot of people, myself included, because I'd only been running any percent, who wanted an any percent race. And we actually try and steer away from any percent races now, and I understand more about it because there is, like, the only major thing that can change two runners in an any percent race is where the PAL key is located. There's no other RNG, there's no other interesting things that really happen. It's PAL key and liquid. That's all it really comes down to. But there's so much more going on in Twin Snakes. There's so many different places where there's other things to do. You know, we have 3 different methods of escaping prison in Twin Snakes. And throughout the tournament, you'll see 4, because you'll see failure as well. There is the failure to escape prison quickly, then there is the slow throw, there is the double bonk, and there is the fast roll. You will only see the fast roll from Aerolin. I've tried it myself, and I do not understand how he does it. It is incredible. But yeah. I'm just gonna catch up a little bit with what's been said. Shane saying, "Okay, hold on, it's killed itself on the Force forging fundamentals." Absolutely. The main thing that Survive falls down on is that it is a survival zombie game, which at the time that was coming out, it's like, this isn't revolutionary. This isn't different. This is the same thing that every other company is peddling. Why are you doing this to Metal Gear? The best idea I have heard for a new Metal Gear and a spin-off would be to make a Metal Gear horror game. I can't remember who suggested it. I remember hearing it. I think it was probably on the Kojima frequency. Apparently today is the day I'm going to talk non-stop about the Kojima frequency. But yeah, actually it was on there. It was on one of their previous episodes talking about making a horror game out of Metal Gear, and I think it would work so well. It's a really, really good, because there are some horror elements to the games. I think it would work really well given the right, and also the other thing is we already know that spin-offs going in like jumping into different territory for Metal Gear works really well, because Metal Gear Rising is one of the best games in the series. I freaking love Metal Gear Rising. It'll be difficult to see. I've got the poster in the background there, just above my microphone. You can maybe see it. But you know, spin-offs can work. It's just Survive was just a really bad idea. is mainly the issue. So Survive. The other thing that would have really helped Survive is if it had been co-op throughout. And again, I'm pretty sure that's something that I heard on the Kojima frequency as well. And just like, yes, I agree. Like the co-op elements of
Fate.
the co-op elements of Survive are really poor. It's just really poorly implemented. Just a straight up co-op Metal Gear would have been quite fun.
Whether you've been programmed or not isn't important.
Yeah.
The important thing
It's
is that you choose life.
and actually
And then
talking about remakes and stuff, and again, Shane hits the nail on the head here. We don't want a remake of MGS1. MGS1 already got remade once. We're fine. Remakes of Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. Keep the same sort of gameplay, the same top-down do, but give it a fresh coat of paint. Give it, add in some new stuff to make it smoother. Full 360-degree turning and stuff like that. There was a wonderful fan project for a remake of Metal Gear 1, and Konami shut it down, and it's a huge shame. They had David Hayter on to voice Snake for it. That was how prolific this fan game got, and it looked incredible. And Konami said, nope, shut it down. And so we didn't get it. So what have we got instead? We've got Unmetal, and Unmetal is fantastic. If Konami, with the release of Unmetal, Konami should be embarrassed. They should be embarrassed that a pretty much mainly one-man development team. The overall team isn't one guy, but it's mainly one guy, Unepic Fran, who's made it and coded it. But he's then obviously got people like testing it and doing bits here and there and stuff like that. So I'm not saying it's not a one-man team, but Unepic Fran is kind of the one guy who mainly has made it. And Konami should be embarrassed at the level of quality that can come out of that kind of thing, and they've just washed their hands of it. It's ridiculous.
The surveillance will continue.
I would go nuts if MGS1. This is the funny thing that I was finding. Oh, hang on, we're about to see the time.
Mr. President.
So hopefully it's less than what I've got there. It certainly should be 58:31. That is so much better. Yeah, damn, that's good. Really happy with a 58:31. I will definitely. I'll definitely be doing more practice to bring that down. But yeah, I'll be posting this as a PB now, house. Did Ocelot call him Solidus in MGS1? I can't remember. I always found it weird when I saw him call him Solidus at the end of this, but I don't remember him specifically saying Solidus at the end of MGS1. I remember him saying, yeah, because I remember him saying no one. I'm sure he said something about that no one knew you were the third brother. But he never referred to him as Solidus. Oh, he did. I need to re-see that scene because obviously we completely skip it in MGS1 PC. Yeah, that's what I thought. But yeah. Anyway, just because this is a PB and it will be going on YouTube, for anyone who's been watching the YouTube VOD, thank you very much for watching. I'm Nick RP Green. I speedrun this and other games I've been talking about throughout the run every Tuesday, Thursday, and weekends at twitch.tv/Nick RP Green. Thank you for watching. Check out some of the other videos that I've got. And yeah, bye-bye.